Trump realities drive migrants to reroute their American dream. Guatemala City, Guatemala CNN. 6 months ago, Francisco Portin was attacked by gangs wielding machetes in his own country of Honduras, he said. An act of violence that cemented the decision to quit his impoverished and trouble-plagued homeland. Last Sunday, with wounds on his chest, leg, and back healing, he and his partner Annie finally left and crossed into Guatemala. They had wanted to go to the United States to work, but now things have changed. Watching the news of immigration enforcement and deportations, 14 told CNN it seems that there were no longer opportunities in the U.S. The couple reached Guatemala City on Tuesday. They said they have no money left and so will work towards the border with Mexico, staying at shelters along the way, an estimated 11-day trek. Asked if their final destination of the U.S. was off the table, 14 replied that the destination is wherever we can work. Migrant interviewed by CNN in Guatemala City from Venezuela, Colombia, Honduras, Sierra Leone, and Cameroon echoed that sentiment. While they dreamed to be in the U.S., some joining family there, the action by the Trump administration was causing them to think again. Trump has arrived. Father Francisco Felicari has seen the atmosphere change at the Casa del Migrante center he runs in the Guatemalan capital. A lot of people now, they are scared. They are very scared of the situation, he said. For now, they stopped trying to reach the United States. The families may have left home months ago. They may have walked hundreds of miles, survived the Darien Gap route, and been robbed or attacked by gangs or cartels. The thought of facing more danger through Mexico and then having no chance of entering the U.S. now that the border is essentially closed is too much risk to bear. The people make their way through Guatemala City on Tuesday. Jean Claude Silva Fuenmayo, a 23-year-old from Venezuela who have spent a year in Mexico City waiting to get an appointment with the U.S. immigration officer through the now defunct CBP One app, was clear on what had changed. Trump has arrived, he said, as he ate a breakfast of tamales and the hard-boiled egg offered by the Casa del Migrante. The changes to immigration policy ordered by President Donald Trump on his first day in office seems to have had a deep impact. The CBP One app that had allowed the migrants to make the appointment with the immigration officer and enter the U.S. legally was shut down within minutes of the presidential oath being taken. Without the legal avenue, even from asylum seekers fleeing persecution who have historically always been allowed into the U.S. though on the road having to rethink their options. Travelers and families who spoke to CNN this week all said they wanted to cross the border legally if they could. Manuel Rodriguez, 25, traveling with his wife and their 3 children ages 10, 6, and 4, said they would not take his family back to Venezuela, where the economic situation was so bad they ate only once a day. They left Venezuela 5 months ago, he said, and had reached Guatemala's border with Mexico, but had not crossed, saying that with cartels preying on migrants, it was too dangerous to linger in Mexico without assurances they'd be able to make it into the U.S. The children of Manuel Rodriguez and Waleski Bellis play games at the shelter in Guatemala City on Wednesday. His wife, Wale- Waleska Bellis, 26, said she understood Trump's wish to rid the U.S. of violent immigrants, such as members of the Venezuelan Terran de Aragua gang, and supports the U.S. strictly vetting migrants, but she felt it unjust to have a blanket action against everyone. We've never been in jail. We've never committed any crimes. What we want is to enter the U.S. to create a better future for our family, Belize said. And President Trump is getting rid of everybody, good people and bad people, and he shouldn't do it in that way. Another asylum seeker, Patrick Songu, from Sierra Leone, said it was not safe for him to return to West America. We don't know what we can do, he explained. Songu, 40, said he desperately wanted to find safety. Emotion then caught up with him and he was unable to speak further. His traveling companion, Yevid Pride, a nurse who said he had been jailed amid severe strife between the French-speaking and English-speaking communities in Cameroon, took up the conversation. It really is a catastrophe, he said. America was built by immigrants. Trump himself is the son of an immigrant. I don't think him sending away immigrants is the best. Still, he would not try to enter the U.S. illegally. I will wait in Mexico, said Prede 45. If there is no legal pathway to get in, then I must choose any of the South American countries to seek asylum there. Unfulfilled dreams. Orlando Chadwick was deported 2 weeks before Trump took office, but he said he has seen enough in detention and the changing attitude in the U.S. to not want to return. Chadwick said he overstayed a visa and ended up living undocumented in Dallas for 20 years. He had spent some time in a church-run migrant shelter, but now he planned to restart his life back in Guatemala. Orlando Chadwick, who was deported back to Guatemala after 20 years in Texas, is photographed in Guatemala City on Wednesday, and he has something to say to any of the migrants in the shelter with him, spoken either in his native Spanish or English perfectly from decades in the north. My advice is right now, it's better to stay where you are. That's the message a family from Colombia has taken to heart. 21-year-old Stephanie Lino, her mother, younger brother, and 3-year-old son had spent 3 months in Tapachula on the Mexican side of the border with Guatemala, waiting to get an appointment through the CBP One app. When the app shut down, their hope of reuniting with family in Denver was dashed, she said. We are going to just walk and try to provide for our keys, Nino said when asked what she planned to do upon returning to Colombia. Her mother, Paula Mancife, spoke of her heartbreak. We had a lot of dreams we could not fulfill. The interior of the Casa del Migrante shelter in Guatemala City is pictured on Wednesday.